Bottom line, when you look at where they stand, they're good in everything. Top 4 in all these major categories. They've had superstars across the board and guys kind of bounce back seasons for them. And right now, they've got the best record in the majors. They've played like the best team all year long. Again, they're the most wins in the majors, best record. Are they the best team in your eyes?
I think the Dodgers have a slight edge right now, but Ronald Acuna Jr. is the key. Now, can he go back to that 40 and 70 guy? It starts to look like that over the last couple of days. If he's starting to cover the baseball and hit for power at the top of the lineup, then you can say they have the best record and the best team because he's really dynamic like a Shohei Ohtani. But also the guy that I'm looking at is Austin Riley. Where has he been? He has digressed the last couple of seasons. If he can just be a shell of himself, man, that's 8 guys in that lineup that can beat you on any given day. And especially over his last 15 ball games, he's hitting .204 with 25 strikeouts. You talk about a couple years ago, this was a guy that was a runner every year for the MVP. So he has to return to form. If he's able to do that, watch out in Atlanta.
Yeah, and Chris Sale's ageless. He just keeps being Chris Sale and trying to win on the Cy Young again, doing his thing. So there you go. Baseball Night in America, a couple great games for you across the nation. And to sum it up, we got some young stars on display. Ellie De La Cruz, the all-star shortstop for the Reds. They'll be taking on the Braves in Cincinnati. And then some of you across the country, speaking of young stars, Jordan Walker. It has been a breakout year for the Cards, young slugger. He's going to make an all-star team this year. Taking on the Cubbies. Baseball Night in America on Fox. Enjoy it, everyone. We'll see you later.
Saturday night in baseball heaven. St. Louis, Missouri, Busch Stadium hosting one of the best rivalries in all of sports. Cubs, Cardinals. Enough said. A huge crowd expected on a Saturday evening for the middle game of this 3-game set. And folks, I'm here to tell you, some people actually keep their shirts on. And that's saying something here in St. Louis. This is the middle game of a 3-game series. Last night, the homestanding Cardinals getting it done with the long ball. They hit 3 homers in the game and then held on like a cat on a screen door to win it by the final score of 6-5. That leads us to the standings in the NL Central. The Brewers have already played today and lost. That means that the best division in all of baseball just got a little bit tighter. You got the Brewers, the top dogs, but then the Cardinals and the Cubs 2 and 3 in a division that has all 5 teams above 500. So glad you found us, everybody, on a Saturday evening. This is going to be fun. With my partner, John Smoltz, I am Eric Collins, and John, since we're in St. Louis, let's start with the homestanding Cardinals. This is a Cardinals team, not a lot of expectations coming into the season, but they're playing really good baseball right now.
Yeah, the fan base didn't know what to expect, and maybe a lot of people think the shoe might drop, but don't tell these young players that they don't know anything about winning, because that's what they're doing. They're playing baseball with energy and enthusiasm. Yes, do a lot of things have to go right for them to make the playoffs this year? Yes, but this core group of young players is a big reason why the crowd is starting to come back out and really appreciate the fun way they play baseball.
All right, let's talk about the Chicago Cubs team that has been Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. People have been in baseball a long time and never seen the type of season they've had.
I've never seen it. I mean, we crowned them the pennant winners, right? They had won 10 in a row twice. They had won 15 games in a row at home. They were going to be unbeatable. This was going to be the year of the Cubs. Then all of a sudden, they lose 10 in a row, and they lose a lot of ground in the standings. They go from first to last. Never seen anything like it, but this club is poised to bounce back from everything it's been through this year. Offensively, when they won, they were really good. Offensively, when they lost, they didn't score many runs.
Let's do it, everybody. This is going to be fun. We've got the Cubs and the Cardinals on a Saturday night. We've got the colorful Ben Brown throwing for Chicago against Kyle Leahy, who's been pitching very well as of late. Baseball from St. Louis. Cubs, Cardinals. They've been doing this since the 1890s. Our first pitch coming your way in just a moment.
Things people love.
These two clubs first played against each other in 1892. You just don't know what you're going to get when you got the Cubs and you've got the Cardinals. Picture perfect baseball weather on a Saturday evening now. 75 degrees, but it wasn't that way just a moment ago. We did have the tarp on the field, a little shower action here in the afternoon, but we're fine now. The tarp's off. It's appropriate. Here's a look at tonight's home run odds, available now on FanDuel. In case you're wondering, Michael Busch, 2 lifetime homers here at Busch Stadium. Let's take a look at the Cubs batting order. Cubs currently 4 games over 500. Craig Counsell puts this 9 out there. Pete Crow Armstrong, an all-star a year ago, leads things off. Horner and Busch. Free agent pickup Alex Bregman trying to get it going. Ian Happ has been hot as of late. Suzuki, Ballesteros, Amaya, and the veteran shortstop Dansby Swanson will face Kyle Leahy.
Well, this young man is starting to get more comfortable in the rotation. He's going to have to face a team that's pretty stingy against pitches out of the zone. There's the breakdown, and his key's going to be the breaking ball. And can he get the Cubs hitters to swing outside the zone? They're one of the stingiest teams. That's going to be the goal of him, to expand the zone as much as he can with that breaking ball.
Pete Crow Armstrong grabs a bat. All-star a year ago. Numbers paling in comparison to what we saw a year ago, but just a ton of talent in this 24-year-old. First pitch of our game misses high and outside, ball 1. Pretty crazy. Through 58 games a year ago, through the first 58 games this year, night and day.
High expectations, contract, and just baseball. That'll get you. And it really has been getting him down below the zone. Anything breaking down below the zone, he has been swinging and missing a lot.
Here's a good strike. Kyle Leahy, a little over 50 innings of work. He's given up 8 homers, doesn't strike out a ton of guys. 42 strikeouts in those 50 innings. And he went too far.
There it is. That's his spot right now that he cannot stay off of it. He knows it. And until he's able to be disciplined, pitchers are going to pitch him this way until he breaks out of it. That pitch nowhere close to the strike zone, but again, down. Every hitter's got a weakness, some bigger than others, and when you're in a slump or struggling, it always seems like the ball finds you.
64th strikeout on the season for Pete Crow Armstrong, who's played in every game for Chicago, now 59 games. Here's Nico Horner. It's been around a while. Always a Cub. 762nd game with Chicago. One second baseman grounds out to the other second baseman. J.J. Weatherholt throws him out.
The one thing both these teams are going to pride themselves on is defense, and the Cardinals have to be really good, and they've improved their defense because their starting pitching and their pitching in general don't strike out a lot of hitters, so they're going to have to rely on every component of their club to be successful.
Here's Michael Busch. Swings at the first pitch. This is going to be an easy 1-2-3 inning for Leahy. Left fielder Torres makes the play. Only 7 pitches needed for Leahy. Bottom of the first inning. Cubs went quietly in the half of the first inning. And now Ali Marmol will send out this 9. J.J. Weatherholt has been a revelation. Top of the lineup, rookie out of West Virginia. Herrera can really swing the bat. Burleson, Walker, Corman. Mason Wynn, Jimmy Crooks, welcome back to the big leagues. First game in 2026 here in the show. Torres and Scott II rounding out the 9, batting against Ben Brown.
Ben Brown's got a great fastball, but he's added a sinker and a knuckle curveball. He pounds the zone early with strikes. We'll see if the Cardinals are going to be aggressive, because he'll throw that fastball at about 68% of the time on the first pitch.
Brown's first pitch called strike 1.
I like this young man. He stays behind and on top of the baseball. He has electric fastball. Breaking ball's above average, but that two-seam fastball, the sinker, is what really helped give him more options against the hitters.
Weatherholt lifts it out to left field. Ian Happ.
And he's added the changeup. The changeup will be a big pitch against the left-handed hitting Cardinal lineup. But he has owned the right-handers, and he has taken away any opportunity for right-handers to have much success against this young man this year.
Ivan Herrera next in line, 26-year-old. He is only hitting .265 on the year, folks, but his on-base percentage is .382 because he leads all of baseball in times being hit with a pitch. 11 times. A third of the way through the year, he's been hit with a pitch. He has also walked 33 times.
He's got one of those loose live arms, and he's developing into what I think will be a bona fide starter. Now, I don't think he'll ever leave the rotation. He was in the bullpen to start. I think he's in the starter to stay.
And Brown got an opportunity when Matthew Boyd hurt a knee and missed time. Boyd's getting closer and closer to coming back for Chicago, which is a huge thing for the Cubs. But they've found something with Brown in the rotation. It's a good problem to have. There's that live arm, 97 miles per hour, and Herrera's out number 2.
Just a good four-seamer. See how he's behind the ball. When you're behind the ball and you've got that good extension, some guys have a gift where the ball just pops out of their hand with extra life, and he certainly does that. Now, first pitch swinger in here, maybe, I think, out of Burleson.
He is swinging. First pitch hits it high in the air down the right field line, just shy of the warning track. Making the play is Suzuki. John Smoltz, you know what you're talking about. Both pitchers need just 7 pitches to kick it.
It's taking heat and sweet to a whole new level.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Progressive Insurance, a grand slam for your budget. It was 16 years ago today that the great Albert Pujols, 3 homers at Wrigley Field. First couple off of Ryan Dempster. Deep down the left field line, Bregman, did you? Yes, he did, a homer. Alex Bregman had to wait to make sure it was fair, and it was. 5th homer of the season for Bregman.
Well, you know, that's got to feel a little bit better, but we had 2 outfielders for the Cardinals pointing that that ball was foul. The umpire, though, saw that ball fair. We're going to have a discussion, and they're going to maybe take a look at it.
Third base umpire Paul Clemens had the call, and he was the one who said homer.
The ball is way up there, just underneath the roof, and a pole does not extend to the roof. I believe that's going to stand. Basically, what the umpire's got to determine is that pole extends into infinity, right? But he has to decide if that ball crossed over the pole, even if it hooks foul.
This is the crew chief review the home run call.
He jumps all over the first pitch, and it has that late hook, and he's hit it high enough. There's the hook.
You see the ball in front of the pole, which means it's going to be foul because it ends up left of the pole.
But was it over the pole before?
Well, I think since we saw the ball, I think this is going to be overturned.
Well, the outfielder and the third baseman for the Cardinals were adamant that the ball was fouled. So.
And Bregman hasn't gone all the way to the dugout. He's still a little bit anxious as to whether this is going to stick around and be called a homer.
Bregman, of course, signing a big contract to go with the Cubs.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. Foul ball.
Oh, my. Well, Alex Bregman off to a slow start power-wise this year. Would have loved for that to stand, but nope, the fans knew it before anyone else in the building did. Little flipper. That'll get down. So Bregman doesn't get himself a home run, but he does get on with a leadoff single here in the second inning. All right, our Above and Beyond sponsored by Jersey Mike's. How about the last couple of days for Ian Happ? 7 hits, 3 of them homers, 10 runs batted in over the last 3 games. This coming on the heels of a real dry spell. First base runner of our game. We already had 16 total pitches and 6 outs recorded. And now a base runner. Ball. 13 homers here in this building. No active player with more homers here at Busch Stadium than Ian Happ. Comebacker, and the throw pulls wind off the bag. They're able to salvage and get an out, but that could have been a double play ball. Let's check in with Ken Rosenthal. Ken, what's up?
Eric, Ian Happ, since getting 2 days off last weekend, is 8 for 22 with 3 homers and 2 doubles. That's entering today. He said 1 day off, getting to watch 9 innings, can benefit a player, enabling him to work on his craft without needing to see results. Now, 2 days off, he wasn't so sure about that. He said Craig Counsell has given him that long a break from time to time for us to be out there competing.
Yeah, he's come back in a big way. The Cubs, we mentioned that 10-game losing streak. They came back to win the final 2 games of their 4-game series in Pittsburgh before losing last night here, the first game of the series in St. Louis.
Yeah, you lost a bunch in a row, and you got to face Paul Skeens. That's not a good recipe, but they beat Paul Skeens in that game. It's a resilient team, resilient manager. Of course, they don't want to have that kind of but the vital streaks make them more 7 out of 10. You know, to have those kind of winning streaks, you think your year is going to just be unbelievably great, and then you have a 10-game losing streak that kind of wakes you back up.
Well, history has shown it's not a killer to lose 10 consecutive games. Look at the 2017 Dodgers won the NL pennant. Just last year, the Cleveland Guardians lost 10 consecutive games and still won the AL Central.
That is hard to do. You got to, man. Suzuki, same thing. Down on breaking balls is not a good spot for him. And he did not chase that one, but that's the idea. Where you want to go is you want to get him to swing over the top of a pitch that looks like it's going to start in the strike zone and end up down and away.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
There it is.
Chased. That's the second strikeout for Leahy. 2 outs. Happ remains on at first.
People ask, well, what kind of analytic information do players getting today that's differentiate from 10, 15 years ago? Well, the difference is you've got a lot more information that you can quantify, but you still have to be able to execute. And the hitters are going to have to be able to change some of the narrative because they get the same notes and the information. So it's still a cat and mouse game. You got to execute. And when you do, it looks great.
Here's the DH, Moises Ballesteros. Called strike 1. 22 years of age from Venezuela. Second year in the big leagues. Man, in the batter's box, he actually looks like a former Cubs pitcher. Looks like Carlos Zambrano to me.
He sure does. And they had the same approach. They loved every fastball that came their way. That was a changeup. And this guy can hit some fastballs. So he's out there in the box to do one thing, and that's damage on the fastball.
0-2. Did he? Foul tipped into the catcher's gloves. That'll go down as a strikeout. 3 punch-outs for Kyle Leahy. When we come back, the Cards will send Jordan Walker to the plate. Walker, he of the 15 homers.
Made, always available every single day.
Bottom of the second inning. First opportunity for Jordan Walker in the right-handed batter's box. Walker, Gorman, and Wynn batting against Ben Brown. A lot of first pitch swinging here. Good golly. Just out past the infield dirt. Making the play is Nico Horner. So Ben Brown has needed all of 8 pitches to record 4 outs.
Well, that was part of the theme that I thought coming in, because he throws so many first pitch fastballs, and it really does center him up a lot. I thought the Cardinals might be aggressive, and so far they have.
He's got a Maddox working on it. What's the matter? Complete game below 90 pitches or 100 pitches?
Below 90.
90. Good. I can do that. Pace he's going on. He's going to throw 55 probably. Here's Nolan Gorman. 5th-year man. Originally first-round pick 2018 by the Cardinals. Look at this. Longest streak without giving up a home run. Currently active pitchers. Of course, you got Christopher Sanchez, who had allowed an earned run in a month.
Yeah.
But then you got Ben Brown. Gave up a home run opening day. Hasn't given one up since. Pitchers like Ben Brown, when he's not giving up home runs, what is working for him? Why is he doing that?
He's pitching ahead. He's got confidence in his fastball. He's got 2 different fastballs, and he's not making mistakes in the middle with a secondary pitch. This should be a breaking ball here. Yeah, and so when you have a good feel for the baseball and you can locate it for the most part when you have to, first pitch you can get away with it a little bit down the middle, but then you try to stay out of the middle of the zone. And so he's done a nice job commanding the baseball and changing speeds.
First 10 pitches thrown by Brown were all strikes. His last 2 pitches, both balls. And now he's back to his strike throwing ways. He strikes out Gorman.
He throws a knuckle curveball, so what that means is it's going to have more downward action. And you see the spin right there actually backed up, and it fools a left-handed batter when it backs up. He thinks it's a ball the whole way. Too early in the game, not a real big situation to be worth challenging.
2 down, bases clear. Mason Wynn. Wynn, part of this young core for St. Louis, dripping with talent. Some Pickett, shortstop. He's got an absolute hose. Offensive numbers not what he'd like them to be so far this year.
I've often wondered when a young man who's not big in nature but has power and hits, 15 to 20 home runs, what that must be like when you struggle with the power and you seek out trying to get more power. I think it makes it worse, and that's what he's trying to regain. He's trying to figure out where's that slug, an elite shortstop defensively with some thunder in his bat.
Softly hit the third. Bregman gets his man. Ben Brown cruising. 6 up, 6 down for the Cubs right-hander.
But I thought we were gonna go have wine.
I can always come back home to you.
Welcome back to Busch Stadium. Scoreless game here with Cubs manager Craig Counsell. Craig, first, what was your view of Bregman's near homer?
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it was awfully close. I don't know if that was the only view they had. They had another view. Those are always really tough. So it looked super close.
Ben Brown, 2 perfect innings so far. What is it that you like most about him?
I mean, tonight so far, just he's throwing everything for strikes right away. They've been aggressive a little bit, but he's in the zone. I think first time through, you can do that for sure. Just filling up the strike zone for sure.
Craig, thanks a lot. Eric, back to you.
Kenny, thank you so much. Second ball swinging, Miguel Amaya flips it into the glove of Mason Wynn. John Smoltz would ask you a question. Both sides look like they're super aggressive here in the first 2+ innings. Is that just kind of the nature of the game, or is that a scouting report thing?
It's both. Nature of the game, where you sense what the guy has and you check out the video and the scouting reports, and you know that if you get a certain type pitch, you're going to be up there ready to go, and that's what each club's done. And when you're struggling, you want to get out of the box and, like this young man, get swinging right away if you can, because Dansby Swanson, as good as he is defensively, offensively, if the Cubs are going to be successful, it's the left side of their infield that's going to have to be much better than it is.
Didn't mean to. That ball was bearing up and in. And Swanson, who's hitting just 188, finds himself down in the count, 0-2. Two-time All-Star, Dansby Swanson, now in his 4th year with the Cubs after 7 years in Atlanta. Popped up, playable, right side. Who wants it? And the first baseman, Burleson, makes the play in foul territory.
I have a feeling Mr. Armstrong's going to try to hit this ball to the arch.
Pete Crow Armstrong struck out back in the 1st inning. Kyle Leahy's already gone through the lineup one time. He has needed 25 pitches to do it. 21 strikes, just 4 balls.
He is looking for something up to drive.
Hits it hard. There's a base hit. Second base hit of the ball game for Chicago. 2-out base runner for the Cubs.
A mistake up, and that's what happens when you got a hitter that's struggling a little bit. You want to keep the ball in the no-go zone, and that's down. But that's belt high. He's lucky that one stayed in the park. Change of speeds just kept him out in front. But a base hit, and possibly now a stolen base with 2 outs.
PCA 12 steals, 16 attempts on the year. Nico Horner called strike 1. Milwaukee Brewers already a loser today. That means a chance for either Chicago or St. Louis to pick up a full game in the standings. NL Central is going to be fun the entire season. Tighter than a tick right now. All 5 clubs over 500. And look at this. Leahy's fallen behind someone.
This would be a great pitch right here if they're going to be aggressive on the bases. You got a control type hitter that doesn't swing and miss a lot.
Two and two. Kyle Leahy is 28 years of age. He's been in the big leagues for a while. This is a great opportunity for him to start. I've seen a lot of bullpen work in years past. He is Colorado through and through. He's from Boulder, went to college in Grand Junction, Colorado. Division II player, Colorado Mesa. PCA dancing, doesn't go. And the ball is flipped foul. Did something fall out of Horner's pocket? right when the pitch was coming, something landed behind him.
Oh, that was from the catcher.
Whoops. May want to keep that. 2-2.
And that's what Horner does. He's not going to lead the league in exit velocity, but he's not going to strike out a lot. He's going to play solid defense. Not going to hit a ton of home runs, but he's going to do what the Cubs lineup does pretty well. Put the ball in play. Try to keep moving the line.
Longest at bat of the game. The 7th pitch. Fouled on the left field line. It's like a swing you see on a cricket pitch. Second throw over. On the ground. Vacuumed up by Gorman. Oh, what did he do? They get the out somehow. Gorman's play was at first, but he chose to get PCA at second. Looked to me like the throw was late.
They're going to challenge it. He's going to be safe.
Oh, yeah. The play was at first. So the call on the field is out.
Challenging the out call at second base.
But I'm here to tell you that's going to be overturned. John, is that all instinct or someone telling him to throw to second?
Well, I think by how slow he got that ball, and then his inability to get the ball out fast enough, he probably felt in his clock, in his head, that was the only play he was going to make, because the break wasn't great, and you got an opportunity right here. See right here how he just has made up his mind the whole time. When he was walking towards right field, he was going to go towards second base.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is safe. Chicago retains their challenge.
So the speed of Crow Armstrong combined with the decision making of Nolan Gorman keeps the inning alive. And I think that's just going to be, well, it's not an error.
It's got to be a base hit.
So a huge break for a Chicago team that has struggled scoring runs over the last couple of weeks. Can they capitalize with 2 outs? Michael Busch hitting here at Busch Stadium. Lifted in the air to left field. Heading back on it is Torres to the track. He makes the play. So Chicago cannot take advantage of the gift from the St. Louis defense.
Get Dixie Ultra Plates, 3 times stronger than the leading store brand. Dixie, make it right.
Take home a piece of the game. Bid on game used jerseys, baseballs, and more at auctions.mlb.com. Bottom of the 3rd inning. Scoreless game at St. Louis. Jimmy Crooks, first at bat of 2026. He was playing AAA baseball as of just 2 days ago. 39 games, 13 homers. That's AAA, but still, that's some thump. Jimmy is from Euless, Texas. He comes from a long line of Crooks.
Snuck that one in, didn't you?
Did play a bit last year, had 1 homer, but didn't tear the cover off the ball in his cameo. Was 6 for 45 tail end of last season with that 1 homer. Ollie Marble, we talked to him before the game. He is high on Jimmy Crooks.
tell you what, Brown has been around the plate and putting a lot of pressure on these Cardinals hitters early, pounding a lot of strikes. This is really the first time in a while he was behind, but he got it back to a 2-2 count. I tell you what, Crooks lost that little index card, you know, while he was catching.
Yeah.
And he's got it on his wrist hit, and I've never seen guys keep that on hitting with that wristband on his back arm, but he does.
Did he get a piece of it? No, he did not. That is strikeout number 3 for Ben Brown.
Brown has done a great job on the road this year. I mean, coming into this road game, opponents are only hitting 139 against him.
Brian Torres swings at the first pitch, chops it foul.
I like when a pitcher sets the tone, especially in today. Look, the walk rate has gone up and the swing rate for the hitters has gone down because of the ABS system. And so if you're a pitcher who can throw strikes and out of a good fastball and you pitch off of it, you're going to put a lot more pressure on both the umpire and the hitters trying to decide what is a ball and what is a strike. He does a great job elevating his 4-seamer and then throwing the 2-seamer away, and he's just carrying the ball past the hitters, right? Beating them to the barrel of the bat, and then that breaking ball down below the zone, just finishing them off.
Torres to left. Will it stay in play? Yes, it is. Out number 2, Ian Happ.
And the other component that doesn't happen often in baseball because of the analytics, they're teaching pitchers to empty the tank for every hitter. And if you don't empty the tank for every hitter, then you can pitch a third time through. The reason the third time through lineup averages are so bad is because that hitter has seen everything that you can throw him. When you attack early, and there's the low pitch count, when you attack early and you throw strikes, they don't get to see as many of those breaking balls. And then the third time you got a surprise for them.
Victor Scott swings at the first pitch. He's not going to make it to the warning track. Suzuki with the catch. 9 up, 9 down for Ben Brown.
Welcome back to St. Louis here with Cardinals manager Ollie Marble. Ollie, Kyle Leahy back on the mound. What have you seen so far?
He's done a nice job. He's mixing well. One of the things he leans on is just the ability to throw any pitch in any count. He's getting ahead with the slider. He's been able to get back in accounts good as well. He's mixing a decent amount. So far so good. I'm glad this guy's last one foul.
The tarps off movement sort of started here. You were sort of a part of it. What do you think now that it's become a national movement?
I love it, man. I really, because you look at the demographic of our sport and just being able to get youth into it, interested in it, and doing what they're doing in right field right now, I think it's good for the game. So I love the fact that they're out there having a good time, man.
Ollie, thanks a lot. Eric.
Off the end of the bat, Alex Bregman. Bucking for a second hit, and it's caught by Torres. Well, the tarps off movement, folks, if you weren't here to begin with, that's fine. You're still welcome. Take your shirt off, enjoy Major League Baseball. It's a thing. The club team from Stephen F. Austin, the Lumberjacks, they were in town playing in a tournament across the river, and they decided to take their shirts off a couple of weeks ago. It became a thing. A late inning rally happened. They were invited by Ollie Marmol into the clubhouse, got a chance to meet the Cardinals, and they joined in, ripping off their shirts and celebrating. It's fun.
They hadn't lost a game with that team here. The Cardinals had not lost a game. I think it was three games they were here. Now they're gone, so they're going to have to figure out another way.
Now, a big reason why it became a thing is Ollie Marmol immediately said, this is great. I want to meet these kids. And this is when they came into the clubhouse. He said, guys, get in here. This is great. And take your shirts off while we're here. Look at how excited everyone is. Tarps off. Fourth inning, scoreless game. Totally different than what we saw yesterday here in this building. Yesterday, both teams scored exactly 3 runs in the first inning.
Yeah, it was 2 outs too. It was a weird 2 outs, nobody on. 3 runs later. That's the worst nightmare for a pitcher. You think, I'm going to get a clean inning. Oh, all right, base hit or walk or no big deal, and then boom, 3-run homer.
Into right field, that'll get down. Ian Happ continues his hot hitting. He's aboard with 1 out.
Yeah, the Cubs had something going in their winning streaks. Offensively, their whole lineup was on fire. Talking to their manager, Craig Counsell, and I said it's the weirdest thing about baseball. Normally you have 3 or 4 in the lineup that kind of stayed neutral and okay, but then they all were hot. And then when they went bad, they all were bad. And you don't see that very often on a ball club.
Called strike 1, Seiya Suzuki. 31 years of age, inching closer and closer to 100 career homers. He's got 94 of them. Bucking to become the 4th Japanese player with 100 homers in the major leagues. Shohei Ohtani, Hideki Matsui, and Ichiro. The only 3 Japanese-born players with 100 major league homers here in the States.
Well, these are the counts where he gets dangerous. He's a good hitter with power ahead in the count. So being ahead 2-1, this favors Suzuki. Gonna have to make a great pitch to get back into the count with 2 strikes against him.
Two and 2. Yesterday's meeting, the first meeting of the season, almost 2 full months before these 2 division rivals getting a chance to play each other. Could be 2. Not hit well enough. So the outs recorded at second, 4-6 on the putout. 2 outs. Suzuki replaces Happ at first. This summer, the biggest tournament on the planet comes to America, and you can see it all right here on Fox. Get ready for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. It all kicks off June 11th on Fox and FS1. Here's Moises Ballesteros, struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning. Leahy struck out 3 of the first 7 batters he faced. Hadn't struck out anyone since. Ballesteros is from Venezuela.
And that's the adjustments in the big leagues. You start off on fire, but then the league adjusts to you. You're going to have to adjust to him, and that's that breaking ball again that he just can't lay off of. Surprised him with a first pitch fastball, which I thought was great. Now he's got him right where he wants him.
Yeesh. Oh, 2. Doesn't bite that time. Leahy has given up 3 hits. They've all been singles. Almost gave up that home run to Bregman, but it was ruled foul. Scoreless in the 4th. Stays alive.
Made a mistake there. 2 strikes. That breaking ball still has to be down. If you've seen a hitter chase it, you can stay stubborn down there. But he let one in the middle of the zone. This is not where you want it. Change of speed, still got him a little bit out front.
Amaya lying in wait. poked foul. This would be pitch number 58 for Leahy. Still not bad at all. Trying to get through the 4th inning. On the ground, that'll sneak through. Suzuki's on his way to 3rd. And he'll make it without a throw. Runners on at the corners. 2 outs for Chicago.
He let him off the hook. I believe that was a changeup down that he was able to get to. The breaking ball, he would have had no chance. And this one with the runner on, he didn't get off the bag quite enough. An easy 1st to 3rd. Both these clubs do a good job base running. Great job defensively. Typically won't beat themselves.
Miguel Amaya hit a humpback liner to the shortstop back in the 3rd inning. 3 homers so far this season. Oh, that got it. So the bases will be full of Chicago Cubs. That ball had a big time thud. I think it got it right square in the pad.
Backed up. Caught him maybe just above it. Yep, got him on the emblem there. And the guy who's been struggling and really struggling with runners in scoring position has a chance to put a smile on his face and the Cubbies with a 2-out hit here.
Dansby Swanson, 171 lifetime homers. 3 of them have come with the bases full. Dansby popped out to 1st an inning ago. His 2nd look at Leahy. Best scoring opportunity for either side.
When you're mechanically off, everything just seems like every pitch is below the barrel. He's kind of dropping that shoulder, getting underneath the ball. He's been hitting a lot of ground balls. He just needs one middle up to do something with. Oh, and a good breaking ball away. The breaking ball away. Now, nothing should be anywhere close to the middle of the plate on this next pitch. When you've got a guy who is open, trying to look for the ball in to pull, you just throw it away. And that's where you get the ground balls and you get the swing and miss.
Big pitch.
Same thing again. No need to do anything different. You don't need a setup pitch. You don't need him to do something to get it off that pitch to go back to it. You can go right back outside and expose the outside part of the plate.
Got it. Leahy strikes out Swanson and leaves the bases loaded. Still scoreless in St. Louis.
With fresh meat and healthy veggies. Because real fresh food belongs in everybody's bowl.
MLB app has you covered all season long. Get personalized highlights and push notifications just for you. Download the MLB app, the #1 app for live baseball. We're here in St. Louis, Missouri, hard along the shores of the Mississippi River. This is just the first time going through the lineup for the 2nd time for Ben Brown. So I guess going through the lineup for the 2nd time for Brent Brown. Ben Brown has gone 9 up, 9 down. He has struck out 3, 1 in each of the first 3 frames. He has looked the part.
And did a great job throwing a first pitch curveball to a guy who was convinced it was going to be a fastball. Swung and missed.
A little bit inside. J.J. Weatherholt is 23 years of age. He is part of that unbelievably fantastic. Oh, ABS challenge there for J.J. Weatherholt.
Total score return. Chicago has 2 challenges remaining.
Automatic balls and strikes powered by T-Mobile's network. Wow, that was a good challenge. Miguel really thought that was going to be a strike, and he was right.
Yeah, by a 1/30th of the baseball.
So clearly 1 and 2 is that much more advantageous than 2 and 1. So Amaya thought that it was important to do it.
Yeah, I still can't wait to see how this plays out from a strategic standpoint, because you only get 2, and you better be right early when there's nobody on base.
A little bit outside. 3 and 2. This is the first time that Ben Brown has gone to a full count against a Cardinal hitter.
Based on the way he started him here with a breaking ball, I think the 3-2 breaking ball is the call right here against an aggressive hitter.
Into center field. Solid single. First hit of the game for St. Louis.
Well, for Dansby Swanson, who is really mired in a kind of an offensive funk, he's pulling off the ball. When you pull off the ball, you're going to miss fastballs away, and then you're going to miss breaking balls. And this last one that he misses is one that he would normally go to right center and waffle. But when you're trying to get out of a funk mechanically, that's not fun.
So the Cubs leave him loaded. Top half of the 4th inning, and now the Cardinals trying to get into it. That's actually a fair ball. Trying to get out of the way was Herrera, and the ball hit the bat. And it works as a bunt. Won't get credit for a sacrifice, but moving over to scoring position goes Weatherholt.
You don't see this very often. I mean, this ball ate him up inside and just chasing him. I mean, that is as close as it can come to not hitting you in the knuckles.
So that's the first out of the 4th inning. Weatherholt at second. Alec Burleson is the batter. Burleson, 27 years of age. He is from Denver. Denver, North Carolina, that is. Won a Silver Slugger a year ago. Slugs this one into right field. Could score the game's first run. Weatherholt cruising around third. He's safe. Burleson out at second, trying to create some action on the base pass. But the Cardinals take a 1-0 lead.
Burleson, probably one of the better hitters on the club and runners in scoring position. Both these clubs have been struggling with it. He does a nice job here, and I thought for sure once this throw was airmailed, he had an easy route to second, but a nice closeout by the catcher and a throw with a hit, just that foot bouncing into the bag.
Cardinals lead 1-0. 2 outs, bases clear. Jordan Walker. That RBI for Burleson, his 36th on the season. Only the man at home plate right now, Jordan Walker, with more runs batted in than Burleson. I am sure that there is some Chicago people watching right now saying to themselves, Jordan Walker, gotta be right. No, Jordan Walker is not named for Michael Jordan. Mom just liked the name.
And I'm sure there's a little bit more of that than people would think, based on the generation of time.
He's 24 years of age, so he was born back in 2002 when Michael Jordan was doing his thing, and a lot of kids back then were named Michael Jordan. Another ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile's network. Oof, how about Miguel Amaya? So Amaya knows what he's doing as a hitter and as a catcher. Already 21 successful challenges. If you were pitching with ABS, would you have, because pitchers don't do it, it's all catchers.
Right.
Would you have wanted to have the freedom to challenge a pitch you threw?
No. I learned from experience, my angle of where I saw the ball was nowhere close to being accurate. I would go to video and go, I am convinced that was a strike, and I'd go watch video and I'd go, well, okay, it wasn't a strike.
The pitchers, by far and away, when they do challenge, not nearly as successful as hitters and catchers.
And I'll tell you that stat is going to be a little skewed overall, because what I've watched in baseball lately is they'll take more chances late if they have them, just to see if they can get lucky. I think the accuracy early has been much better than the accuracy late, just because you don't want to go in with never did it and still had 2 challenges. So I've seen that. We did a game here last time where I believe going into the 9th inning, neither team had challenged. And so in the 9th inning, you figured, well, I'll just challenge it, and it was a ball. They were wrong. But my rule as a manager is, if my player starts missing more than he does, I'm taking it away from him. You're like, you don't get it anymore.
Walker doing a good job of staying alive. That foul tip actually got a piece of Amaya. So Amaya is going to get a moment. Coming up next Saturday, horse racing's greatest thrill ride. Golden Temple made history once. Can he do it again at the Belmont Stakes? Coverage begins next Saturday, 4 Eastern, live on Fox. Amaya is still being looked at. Gives us time for a pitcher profile sponsored by Wendy's. And how about these wonderful arms, John Smoltz?
Yeah, well, it starts with Ohtani being totally healthy. What Christopher Sanchez is doing is amazing. He's got an incredible stretch of scoreless innings going, but you're talking about some elite arms in our game. My hope, they stay healthy.
Christopher Sanchez just beating the great Grover Cleveland Alexander, Philadelphia Phillies record for consecutive shutout innings. Grover Cleveland Alexander is on most people's list of top 20 pitchers of all time. One of those greats like Cy Young and Walter Johnson back in the day. Called strike 3. Jordan Walker doesn't agree. This is the difference between a strikeout and a walk. And Walker with the ABS challenge.
See, this would be a situation right here. He's saved. It's not a leverage situation.
So the inning ends, but the Cardinals draw first blood. Alec Burleson drives in J.J. Weatherholt. We've got a 1-0 Cardinals lead here in St. Louis.
So I got this.
Weeds.
Does anything keep them from coming back?
Roundup dual action.
Does that say prevents weeds for up to 4 months?
We've made it to the 5th inning. It's a 1-0 lead for St. Louis. Pete Crow Armstrong, Nico Horner, Michael Busch will bat against Kyle Leahy here in the 5th. Let's check in with Ken Rosenthal. Kenny.
Well, Eric, here we go. Kyle Leahy has struggled big time, 3rd time through the order. Opponents are 20 for 45. That's a .444 batting average with 5 home runs. Leahy told me, I feel like I take steps in the right direction, but I'm impatient. I want to take strides and leaps. Now, keep in mind, he is starting regularly for the first time since 2022, and slowly but surely, he is becoming more accustomed to the workload.
Great stuff, Ken. John, your thoughts on 3rd time through the order?
Well, it's just a byproduct of, again, over information. Show the hitter everything you have early. Try to swing and miss everybody.
Hammer deep to right field, over the head of the right fielder Walker. Pete Crow Armstrong has himself a leadoff double. He has hit the ball right on the screws each of the last 2 times up.
And what happens is you have no other place to go. So if you don't execute and a hitter gets to see your breaking ball 6, 7, 8 times, they're going to have the advantage. And we just don't prepare young pitchers in a way where we're enticing them to go through the lineup 3 times. So it's really kind of what they're being asked to do.
Crow Alexander on its 2nd. Great start for Chicago. Here's Nico Horner. Yeah, you look at Leahy. And there's been a lot of great pitchers who look exactly like him. He's 6'5", 225 pounds. He's got the strength you'd imagine. You think the stamina would be there. But going deep into games, the final frontier. Hadn't been able to do it just yet. It's been a trend for the Cubs over the last couple of weeks, getting the key hit. Two and one. Bends him back, 3-1. Leahy has not walked a Cub. He has hit a man. Slapped right side. Second time today, the Cubs' second baseman has bounced out to the Cardinals' second baseman, but this time it's called a productive out. As moving over to third goes Crow Armstrong.
Yeah, that was intentional, and that's the difference between some guys with their skill set and other guys just don't have the ability to do it because they're trained to do and lift the ball.
Cardinals will bring the infield in. Cut of the grass all the way around the infield. Michael Busch has flied out to left twice. Since May 8th, 29th out of 30 major league teams. Cubs batting average with runners in scoring position.
I tell you, they're going to have to do. They tried to get Armstrong last night. He's got such an aggressive lead. He's going to get doubled off on a line drive, but he is going on contact, even with the infield in. At least those pitches and those swings he was.
Leahy has 4 strikeouts. That'll score a run. Kyle Pete Crow Armstrong comes in and scores the first run of the game for Chicago. RBI number 34 for Michael Busch.
This good piece of hitting right up the middle. There's nobody there other than the pitcher with the infield drawn in.
And the Cubs score their first run. And we may have a pitching change. That came really quick for St. Louis. Ryan Fernandez, new pitcher. We'll tell you about him when we come back. Saturday, Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, David Ortiz. 3 outcome faces in the rivalry. We'll be on the call with Kevin Burkhardt leading the way. You do not want to miss this episode of the rivalry. It all goes down next Saturday, 7:30 p.m. on Fox. The worm is turned here in the middle innings in St. Louis. The Cardinals getting a run in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Cubs answering with a run here at the top of the 5th. New pitcher Ryan Fernandez.
Fernandez, oh, that ball gets away. Fernandez fastball, cutter, slider, and a changeup. And now the Cubs again with another runners in scoring position. We've already documented how bad they've been lately. Well, they got one in, and they're looking to get the second one in.
That scored a wild pitch, moving Bush from first to second. Bregman 1 for 2. Just 17 runs batted in for Alex Bregman. This is a guy who's been an all-star 3 times, just signed a lucrative 5-year deal, 213 lifetime homers. Still a bunch of season remaining.
Well, the one thing that he's done lately is just dominate the outside part of the plate, especially fastballs. Normally it's that middle end that he was so famous for in Houston, never missing. The league maybe just pitching him a little bit differently, and he's adjusting to it.
Five-pitch walk. Bregman aboard for the second time. So since coming into the game, Ryan Fernandez, a wild pitch and a walk. Runners on at first and at second. Still just 1 out. And Ian Happ, who has been as hot as any Cub, grabs a bat. Homers in 3 consecutive games for Happ. With that single an inning ago, Ian Happ has 998 career hits. 186 of them have gone over the fence. Identical. Strikes 0-2 to Happ. Night done for Leahy. He isn't responsible for the runner on at second. Michael Bush. Third time wasn't a charm for Fernandez.
Still a really good pitch. Put the pressure on the hitter. Don't try to change his eye level right now.
Got him. 4-pitch strikeout. Happ out number 2.
Perfect spot. Hard breaking ball. Starts like it's going to be in the middle of the plate. Ends up down. He takes that one, but he's stubborn enough to throw it again and make it look more like a strike.
Seiya Suzuki. Reached base an inning ago. What was scored a fielder's choice. Fernandez is 27 years of age. He is from the Tampa, Florida area. He's got 2 Cubs on the base path. Throws a good strike. And this is interesting. 2 balls and a strike and a meeting. Dusty Blake, pitching coach for the Cardinals. Relatively unusual to have a meeting 3 pitches into a batter.
Well, part of it's going to be recognizing the situation and who's on deck, and maybe just giving the pitcher a reminder to not give in to this hitter who's got a lot of power.
So you're facing a right-handed batter. You got a lefty in the on-deck circle in Ballesteros. You would think the right-hander Fernandez would want to attack Suzuki and avoid Ballesteros. Two and 2. 0-2.
Great job laying off of that. The runners are going to be going. Advantage for the Cubs on a base hit now. Easy score.
Three balls, 2 strikes. We'll do it again. Cardinals won the first game of the series last night, 6-5. Suzuki doing a good job of spoiling everything. Fernandez is offered up.
Asked Craig Counsell, I said, your process for a team has been really, really good. Can you explain why you're not getting more hits with runners in scoring position? You don't swing and miss a lot. You don't expand the zone. He said, yeah, the process is there, and I haven't had anything negative to say, like, don't do that. He thinks it's going to turn around if the process stays the same.
Good process here for Suzuki. This will be the 9th pitch from Fernandez to Seiya Suzuki. Bush at second. Bregman at first. Both getting a workout in. There they go. Half swing. That's in the trouble zone. Nice play by the first baseman Burleson to cover up and make the play. I thought that ball had a chance to sneak through. But the Cubs tie the game up at 1. They've been playing against each other since the 1890s. The Cardinals and the Cubs. Stan the Man, Musial, Ernie Banks. Let's play 2. Bob Gibson, Rhino. Man, Hall of Famers for days. More recent vintage, Sammy and Mark McGuire. With John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal, I'm Eric Collins. We've made it to the bottom of the 5th inning. Both sides have scored their last time at the dish. Cardinals got a run in the bottom of the 4th inning. RBI single by Alec Burleson. Nolan Gorman lead things off. Ball and a strike to Gorman. He'll be followed by Mason Wynn and then Jimmy Crooks. Ben Brown has been really good. The pitcher Ben Brown doesn't ever run the risk of forgetting his birthday. He was born on September 9th, 1999, which is 9/9/99. He strikes out Nolan Gorman. That's the 5th strikeout for Brown.
Brown's just doing a great job making the hitters aware of his fastball, and then there's that changeup that I think he's got really good feel for. But it's the 2-seamer that has given him the success he's got this year.
He's getting really close to 50 consecutive innings without allowing a home run. That is super rare territory. Filling up the strike zone, 1-1. How about this? Ben Brown, he's from Long Island. He is from East Setauket, New York. It's on Long Island. He is one of 3 big league pitchers from his high school. It's not like he went some crazy made up baseball power. It's just a regular public school in Long Island. Starter for the Chicago White Sox, Anthony Kay, same high school. Steven Matz, former Cardinal, current pitcher with Tampa Bay. He went to the same high school as Ben Brown.
I hope they won something.
Well, they didn't all overlap.
Okay, all right.
But still, 3 pitchers.
That's pretty impressive.
From the same high school in Long Island. Into center field. Cubs have a man there. Pete Crow Armstrong doesn't make too many mistakes. John Curious, you played with one of the greatest defensive center fielders of all time, and Andrew Jones, going in the Hall of Fame in a month. How does Pete Crow Armstrong compare to Andrew Jones?
Well, he's got great instincts like Andrew did. I mean, one thing that's different is Andrew, his first step, he rarely dove. He may be, Pete might be one of the greatest diving center fielders on angled throws. Now look, he plays in a different place that makes him aware of the walls differently. In Chicago, Wrigley Field, you're not running into those walls, so you better be really good at angles, cutting off, and awareness. But hard pressed for me to see somebody better than Andrew Jones, and I got to see him every day.
Nice bounce back inning for Ben Brown. He retires Gorman, Wynn, and Crooks in order.
The end of an era, but I've had my biker moment. Plus, I listed this on eBay in like 2 seconds. I got a really good price. Okay, next.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
Ryan Fernandez came out of the pen, did his job back in the 5th. Now he'll get a full inning here in the 6th. Moises Ballesteros leads things off. Swings at the first pitch. Caught off the shoe tops by the second baseman, Weatherholt. 1 pitch, 1 out. Sleeper picks sponsored by Mattress Firm, and this is great. We're going to the Wayback Machine. Roy Face, 1959, out of the pen, folks. He won 18 out of 19 decisions. That is a classic vulture. And then you got Aaron Ashby. Who knew? This year, Milwaukee, a perfect 9-0.
I mean, timing has been perfect. And to be 9-0 and not be a starter, you know he's getting a lot of grief, but he's willing to take it.
A win is a win. That is great. Miguel Amaya. Miguel Amaya is a Panamanian. He's from Panama, one of 2 guys from Panama in today's game. You also got Ivan Herrera with the Cubs. 2 Panama-born players, Major League Baseball history, join you, John Smoltz, in the Hall of Fame. Would you like to take a guess as who those would be?
No.
Mariano Rivera.
Ah.
And Rod Carew. That's kind of the red herring. Rod Carew was born in Panama, but raised in New York
that
City.
that one I knew. I should have guessed that one.
Your era, Carlos Lee, is a really good player from Panama. Two balls and 2 strikes. Little number, like a cat. Fernandez got to it quickly and then throws it away. Oh, he did the hard part easily, and the easy part, he did it all wrong.
Well, he threw this 3/4 almost sidearm, and the ball sailed on him. Watch when he gets this, just kind of slings it sidearm and just pulled it.
That is the first error of our game. And a runner on at first with 1 out. If you're a Cubs team that has lost 11 of your last 13, that's the type of break that you love. Opportunity for Dansby Swanson here with 1 out, 1 aboard. It's been a frustrating day so far for Dansby.
That conversation was to settle him down, get him refocused, and talk to him about the strategy of where to throw the ball to Swanson, keep the ball away. We already talked about it. Don't make mistake middle in. Swanson has yet to show that he's willing to go the other way on those pitches. When you stay on the ball, especially a breaking ball, and go to right center, that means you're locked in mechanically at the plate. But when your first move is to your own dugout, which is the third base side, and you're giving yourself a lot less chance to hit that ball middle to middle away.
Well, Swanson does have a slightly open stance. when the pitch is on its way. Does that affect anything in terms of staying on the ball?
Well, you can have an open stance and close your front shoulder, but if your hip is gone, and if that hip, see how quickly that hip is getting out, now you got no way of staying and keeping the barrel flat in the zone. Good hitters and hitters that don't just slug, they have the ability to keep that bat in the zone, stay back with your hands, and that's why the mechanics of hitting, it's why it's so difficult to do. Because if you're off a little bit, if you're off a fraction, it can be 3 inches. It can be the difference between pulling off a ball and squaring up a ball.
Two balls and a strike to Dansby Swanson.
And when you're struggling mentally, you always think they're making great pitches on you, when the reality is they probably aren't. It's just the nature of the game. You're going to go through your ebbs and flows. And so you also feel like every time you get to the plate, you got 2 strikes on you. So these are all the things you have to battle in a 162 game, especially when you're playing as much as Dansby's going to play at shortstop.
Good stop by the catcher. The rookie Crooks keeps Amaya on at first. We saw a similar at bat an inning ago. Seiya Suzuki working against Ryan Fernandez. Another 3-2 pitch. Ball 4. Swanson will take it. He's aboard for the first time. And this is trouble of Ryan Fernandez's own doing. He muffed a ball that was hit right in front of him, threw the ball down the line. That allowed Amaya to reach, and now the walk to Swanson. And you get 2 on with 1 out. And Ali Marmol's seen enough. We will have a pitching change. Justin Brule coming in for St. Louis. Unbelievable. We've got a special edition of Red Sox Yankees next Saturday. Derek Jeter, the captain, Alex Rodriguez, and David Ortiz, 3 iconic faces in the rivalry. They'll all be on the call with Kevin Burkhardt leading the way. You don't want to miss this episode of The Rivalry. It all goes down next Saturday, 7:30 p.m. on Fox. Cubs have something brewing. Runners on at first and at second. Just 1 out in the 6th inning. We're tied at 1. Justin Brule, lefty-lefty matchup. Pete Crow Armstrong with hits his last 2 times up. Both of his hits stinging line drives.
Brule's going to create an arm angle that's tough on lefties. Kind of drops down, throws across his body. He's going to break the baseball away from him and try to sink it in like you saw on that first pitch.
Oh, did it get him? It did. That is the second Cub hitter to be hit with a pitch by a Cardinal pitcher, and the bases are loaded.
If you're going to get hit, this is the way to get hit. Just have your uniform feel the brunt of it.
Took a couple fibers out of the jersey, and that's about it. There will be no bruise. So the Cubs, with a golden opportunity, they have the bases loaded without the benefit of a base hit. Ball hasn't left the infield so far this frame. Amaya reaching on an error by the pitcher. Swanson walking. And now Crow Armstrong hit with a pitch. Nico Horner, the batter. 1-1 tie with a single.
Again, really good hitters take advantage of the part of the park where you go the other way. Even if that ball was on the ground, it's so much harder to turn a double play with where the fielders are, and he just saw that side of the field and said, I'm getting it.
So the Cubs lead for the first time on a Saturday evening. Still just 1 out. And Michael Busch wants a timeout. He's getting attacked by some gnats. The only Busch to ever homer here in the stadium. Hit hard into right field. Walker ambles over, makes the play. Tagging from third and scoring is Swanson. And Chicago leads 3-1. RBI number 35 for Busch, who's driven in 2 of Chicago's 3 runs. And after facing 3 batters, Justin Brule will lead. New pitcher when we return. He's facing Alex Bregman. '25th appearance for Graceffo. He is already the 4th pitcher of the ball game for the Cardinals. Remember, they used 7 to pick up the win yesterday.
Officials call a strike. The batter challenging.
Bregman didn't agree that that was a strike.
The toss confirmed. Chicago has 1 time remaining.
That's the danger of that, because anything that can touch the top of the zone, even though they lowered it in the system, that's the beauty of it.
Runners on at the corners. 0-2 pitch. There goes the runner from first, and the fake throw to second. That'll be a stolen base for Horner, his 11th of the year. And now 2 men in scoring position for Chicago. Bregman was brought to Chicago for these type of situations. And now the catcher wants to challenge. Jimmy Cricks thinks that's strike 3.
Officials call a ball. The catcher is challenging.
And it is strike 3. The rookie catcher, Jimmy Cricks, just stole one. And the side is retired, but Chicago scores 2 runs, and they lead for the first time.
Trex, performance engineered for your life outdoors.
Ben Brown and the Cubs leading the Cardinals 3-1 as we play the bottom of the 6th inning. Leadoff batter for St. Louis, Brian Torres. Facing arrested Ben Brown, who was in that Cubs dugout for a while with all the pitching changes in the top of this frame.
That can have an impact. I've always said when you're pitching and you wait a long time, 2 things are going to happen. You got a lot of runs.
Good.
Or there's an injury or a ton of pitching changes, which you got the runs, but it also gets you off your rhythm a little bit.
Brian Torres, 28 years of age. He is a rookie. Chops that one foul. Let's check in with Kenny.
Eric, Brian Torres has quickly become a favorite of Ali Marmol and his staff, and they've got a fun describing him. They say he looks like Javier Baez and hits like Luis Ariz.
You'll take both of those comps. Luis Arraez can put his bet on anything. And they say that Torres, who has been around, he's been in pro ball somewhere for 11 years before finally making it to the big leagues just this spring. He's got that rare hit talent.
I'm here to say we need more of it. Baseball could use a few more guys that could put the ball in play and not necessarily always look to hit the ball over the fence. So it's refreshing when you have a young man or an older guy with that kind of skill.
5'7". Knows how to play his game. And right now the Cardinals need base runners, and he's worked the count full. He's been in the Brewers chain, Giants chain last couple of years, in the Cardinals chain. Now a big leaguer for the first time. Skies this one to center field. Easy play for one of the best defensive center fielders in the world. Some guys, when they play baseball, just look different. Pete Crow Armstrong looks different than most guys when he's running down a fly ball in center field.
He does. I can only imagine in youth baseball, he probably wasn't far from what he does right now, and just got that look of an athlete that can go chase anything down.
Here's Victor Scott. Weird part of the order. You got 9 and then 1. Victor Scott the second, followed by J.J. Weatherholt. These two guys have been batting close to each other for years. They were teammates as college players at West Virginia, both Mountaineers. How strange must that be to be a college teammate and then a pro teammate? The odds are really small. I'm hoping Scott can get on, because I got the stat of the night here. I may use it anyway. The guy in the on-deck circle, J.J. Weatherholt, has never hit into a double play. He has played close to 60 games in the big leagues. He has never hit into a double play, which is super rare. The last person to make an entire season without hitting into double play, the great Craig Biggio in 1997. Somehow, Biggio and those great offensive teams down in Houston, right-handed batter playing at the Astrodome on turf, somehow never hit into a double play. Two balls and 2 strikes to Scott. When you faced Craig Biggio, did you think of him as an extreme fly ball hitter, or was it just kind of luck of the draw?
No, he had good wheels. That was one thing that probably helped him beat out a lot of those ground balls.
Well, Scott's done a good job here. He is taxing Ben Brown. He has seen everything that Brown has to offer. And he'll face a 3-2 pitch. That is the first walk allowed by Ben Brown.
Officials call the ball. Look out for the challenges.
Well, we shall see if it's a walk. And it is.
The goal's confirmed. Chicago's out of challenges.
So Chicago's out of challenges for the rest of the game. Make a note of that. Score big on authentic gear at MLBshop.com. From official jerseys and memorabilia to hats and hoodies, we've got the season covered. Visit MLBshop.com, the official source for your favorite team gear. J.J. Weatherholt has never hit into a double play.
Here we go. A changeup would put this really interesting, because I think it would get a ground ball.
Oh, 2. For those of you wondering, John Smoltz against Craig Biggio, 104 at bats. And John, you induced one double play. So you did the almost impossible.
Almost the.
He got hit a double play once in 104 at bats, just not in 1997. The 0-2. Lifted into center field. That'll get down. Solid single on a 2-strike pitch for Weatherholt. Still has never hit into a double play.
Yeah, that pitch selection there was probably one you're going to look back and want back. Fastball center cut with 2 strikes, maybe just a little bit off the plate, but didn't get him to chase anything.
So Brown had been cruising, still has only thrown 72 pitches, but now in trouble. Runners on at first and at second. Ivan Herrera, who hadn't done much so far today, but last night he had the game-winning homer.
Big swing. Cardinals won a close one.
Herrera, 7 homers, 27 runs batted in. For those wondering, he has hit into 6 double plays. First time tonight, activity in the bullpen. Caleb Thielbar, veteran left-hander. Brown does a fantastic job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. Allowed a home run on opening day back in March. Hasn't given up a home run since. Almost 50 consecutive innings without allowing a homer. On the ground. Could be 2. Double play! 5-3 twin kill, and the Cubs get out of it.
That's the man that they're paying a lot of money to do a lot of things for the Cubs.
On the mat. Real American Freestyle, exclusively on Fox Nation.
Make your move.
Well, when your pitcher can induce a double play, everyone gets happy. Craig Counsell talking things over with his staff. They have a 2-run stiff arm on the St. Louis Cardinals as we play the 7th inning. Ian Happ will lead things off. Happ, Suzuki, Ballesteros batting against Gordon Graceffo. Scooped up, Burleson, underhand toss. 1 down. Good hands play sponsored by Allstate. Big time double play, 5-3, Alex Bregman. And Ben Brown thrilled. There's a chance that Brown is going to come out of the game. Now he's just chilling in the dugout. 2-run lead. Suzuki swings at the first pitch, powers it to center field. Scott looks up, it's off the wall. Suzuki on his way to second, he'll make it with a slide. First ball swinging, Suzuki gets himself into scoring position.
Center cut. Mammoth's got pretty good power on pitches in the strike zone.
Just the 5th double of the year for Suzuki, who's got 7 homers. He's on at second with 1 out for Ballesteros. A grunt from Graceffo. Three Moiseses in Major League Baseball history. 2 have been Cubs. 1 played on the other side of Chicago. Moises Sierra, Moises Alou, Moises Ballesteros. Into left field. Torres. 2 down, bluffing And staying at second is Suzuki.
Cubs as a team have been pretty good from the 7th inning to the 9th inning with their power numbers. 25 home runs from these last 3 innings of the game.
Here's Miguel Amaya.
And the other impressive thing is when they're leading going into the 7th inning, they haven't lost. 23-0. So
wow. That's bullpen. Amaya, a big part of that rally an inning ago. Just put the ball in play. Hit it right back to the pitcher, Fernandez, who fielded it, but then threw it down the line. Well, rally started with the error. Dansby Swanson drew a walk. Pete Crow Armstrong was hit with a pitch. Horner got himself a base hit and then a sacrifice fly. The 2 runs scored with just 1 base hit in the inning for Chicago. John, in your Hall of Fame career, if I listened to every single game that you pitched, would I have heard a grunt from you?
no,
Nope.
never once. Not even in the bullpen as a closer.
Into center field, shallow, coming on to Scott. And the play is made. Side is retired. Cardinals down a pair when we come back. Burleson, Walker, and Gorman scheduled to bat.
Roundup Dual Action. This stuff works.
Welcome back, everyone. We've made it to the bottom of the 7th inning. Ben Brown and the Cubs leading the Cardinals by a score of 3-1. Burleson swings at the first pitch and drives Crow Armstrong to the warning track where he makes the running play. 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning. Game summary sponsored by Bank of America. In a nutshell, it's been a well-pitched game. Ben Brown, he's now gone over the 6 innings. Just 3 hits, 1 earned run. He's struck out 5. He's been sensational.
He has. He's powered strikes early. He's got a lot of quick outs. Don't have to strike everybody out to be effective in this game, and he's shown what happens when you throw strikes early.
Cubs have had 10 players in the history of the organization whose last name was Brown, common spelling, B-R-O-W-N. The greatest would be Mordecai Brown. On the ground hard. Walker hit it to the wrong spot. Right to Alex Bregman. 2 down. You can't hit it much harder than Jordan Walker just hit it. So 2 quick outs. The 3rd and 4th batter in the lineup for the Cardinals here in the 7th inning. I would have thought for sure that Gorman would take a pitch.
They are up there ready. It's been really a good pitch selection night for Brown.
Nolan Gorman 0 for 2 has not put the ball in play. Struck out twice against Brown. One and 2. Mentioned Mordecai Brown. He's a Hall of Famer way back when, about 100 years ago for the Cubs. His nickname was 3-Finger Brown. Why? No one knows. He actually had 4.5 fingers. 120 players in Major League Baseball history with the last name of Brown. I think the only Hall of Famer is Mordecai, though. No relation to your former teammate Mike Mordecai. Swung on and missed. How about Ben Brown? He strikes out Nolan Gorman for the 3rd time. Only needs 7 pitches in the inning.
Introducing Subway's new fresh value menu. 15 different protein-packed choices, all for under $5. With new 6-inch deli face, $3.99. Protein pockets, $3.99. And a 6-inch sub of the day, $4.99. Always freshly made, always available every single day.
7 in the books. Dansby Swanson and the Cubs leading the Cardinals 3-1. Swanson batting against Gordon Graceffo. Cubs scored 1 run in the 5th inning, 2 runs in the 6th inning, and they're trying to make a winner out of Ben Brown, who looks like he's done. He's getting the hugs and the high fives. He's smiling. But he has now gone 51 1/3 consecutive innings without allowing a home run. He is inching up to Marcus Stroman for the Cubs' all-time record for consecutive innings without a homer allowed.
Still really impressive outing, and keep that streak going. And I'll tell you, the guy at the plate was huge for that run-producing inning that the Cubs got, scoring 2 with that big walk after the error.
Swanson down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. 2-run 6th inning on an error, the Swanson walk, a hit by pitch, and then an RBI single by Horner and the sacrifice fly by Bush. Graceffo was the winning pitcher in yesterday's game. Swung on and missed. Second strikeout for Graceffo.
Good over-the-top breaking ball. And again, struggles continue, and there's movement on the pitches, and his head and body are taking him somewhere else.
Here's PCA. Pete Crow Armstrong. He's had a nice night. He was serenaded, I think, by the Tarps Out crew a couple innings ago with an overrated chant, and he answered with a double. His last time up, he was hit with a pitch to load the bases. He's got the Meatloaf special working, 2 for 3, 8 bad. They got some bad intel with the overrated chant. He's having a night. Look at this. PCA hits it into the Tarps off crew. Take that for overrated. Ha! That's what talent does. It responds. 3rd hit of the night for Pete Crow Armstrong. That is a stud right there. A baller.
Well, the difference between the strikeout and the first at bat and all the action, he's been successful. He's got pitches to hit.
Well, the Tarps Out crew no longer thinks that Pete Crow Armstrong is overrated. He deposits a ball deep into the night, into the stands in right field, where no one wearing a shirt comes up with it.
Things people love.
Welcome back, everyone. The Cubs leading the Cardinals 4-1 as we play the 8th inning. New pitcher coming on for St. Louis. It is Matt Pushard. He comes in after the home run by Pete Crow Armstrong.
Fastball right down the middle, simple swing, knows it right away. Finally got a pitch that he could drive.
They've calculated the numbers. 114 miles per hour off the bat, 444 feet into the stands and right. Nico Horner down the right field line. Second hit of the night for Horner. Pushart. He is from Bangor, Maine. He is a Rule 5 selection from Miami. Needs to spend the entire year at the big league level with St. Louis or be offered back. We've had 5 Cardinal pitchers tonight after 7 pitchers last night. Into center field. Second out of the inning.
Well, the Cardinals, for all the talk of how well they're doing this year, and they are, a lot to be determined as they get closer to the All-Star break and whether or not they have an opportunity to add. They're trying to find out a lot about young players. They're going to stick with those young players, but the pitching depth is something that may catch up with them before it's all said and done.
Alex Bregman. Spin board twice, single and a walk. This is his 4th pitcher he's faced. Good job of framing there by the catcher. Crooks steals a strike. 1-2. Just to make sure, throw to first. It's getting late for the Cardinals. They scored their only run in the 4th inning. They have been tied up by starting pitcher Ben Brown. Brown has been magnificent.
Well, for Bregman, when you think about the 2 places he played, he had a left field wall in Fenway, a short left field wall in Houston, and a different circumstance in his home state or home park in Wrigley. So power numbers being said, he will get more homers.
Skies this one left center field. Calling for it, the center fielder Scott, and he makes the play right in front of Brian Torres. Side is retired, but another run scores. Pete Crow Armstrong getting heckled by the Tarp Top crew. He gives them a souvenir that they toss back. To the bottom of the 8th we go. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Geico. It feels good to Geico. St. Louis, Missouri, Saturday night. There is a full moon up in our sky. It's actually a blue moon, 2nd full moon of the month of May. And so far, so good for the visiting Chicago Cubs. They lead by a score of 4-1. Ben Brown is out. What a performance. Jacob Webb replaces him. Webb Wynn matchup. Jacob Webb, Mason Wynn. Jacob Webb is from Southern California, Riverside Poly High School. Same high school that produced Barry Bonds' dad, Bobby Bonds. Wonderful player in his own right. Cardinals actually led for a time. They scored the game's first run in the 4th inning, but then 4 unanswered scored by Chicago. Middle game of this 3-game series. Cardinals won yesterday 6-5.
Mason Wynn looking for that middle end fastball that he can launch.
3-2.
Got a cannon for an arm that's short.
Yeah, he does. Jimmy Crooks on deck. Ball 4. That's what the Cardinals need, a base runner. Kenny standing by with the starting pitcher for Chicago, Ben Brown.
Thanks, Eric. Ben, 7 innings tonight, 1 run. What made you so good?
Yeah, we had a great game plan going in. Miggy and I were on the same page. Awesome defense in center field. He was tracking down all over the place. Great plays by Breggy, and just kind of everything came together. Had a good game, and now just got up to the Cubbies. Two more innings left to get this thing done.
The sinker's been such a big pitch for you. You learned it over the winter from Clay Holmes. How did that relationship come about?
Yeah, there was a ton of people. The Cubs organization, it's coaches that just told me to go train to play. I really had no idea what to expect. Just I had to go. It was just such a blessing, and you know, spent a lot of time off season working on things mentally, physically, pitch design wise. It was awesome, man. I mean, he was so generous with his time, and thankful for a friend in play. You
want to hear a cool stat? You've now gone 51 1/3 innings without allowing a homer. The Cubs' record is 52 2/3. You're within an inning and a third. Marcus Stroman in 2023. Ben, how have you been able to put together that streak?
Yeah, I think just resilience. I mean, glory to God. Just I'm thankful I can get out there and pitch and feel good and feel confident. Ton of resilience. Obviously, last year, you know, there was some ups and downs. I learned a lot from the failure, and I think that's all kind of coming together now. It's been a whole accumulation of a lot of things. My family, my wife, my teammates, my coaches. Like, there's a lot of people that have kind of gave me this opportunity to go out there and just compete.
Ben, congratulations. Thanks. Eric, back to you.
Thanks, Ken.
Great stuff. Fantastic stuff. Would you have wanted to know that? Did you know that kind of stuff? And would you have wanted to know, John, during your playing career, that you had gone 50-plus innings without giving up a homer?
Probably not, the way my brain is. I was out of the bullpen, and I told our PR guy, I said, don't tell me till it happens. But I'm trying to throw a 9-inning no-hitter out of the bullpen. And the only way you could do that is one batter at a time, obviously, because you're only going to be in there 1 inning. And I think I got to 8 2/3, but yeah, at best that I didn't know certain things like that. It just, I'm one of those guys that when you could play, I could play golf and tell you every shot, every hole, everything, but then everything else is kind of like scatterbrain, you know. So I would be focusing too much on that on the mound.
Torres to first, underhand flip to Webb, and there are now 2 outs. Moving over to third goes Mason Wynn. Cardinals down to the last 4 outs, down by 3 runs. They would love to at least get 1 run out of this 8th inning. Last hope, Victor Scott. Interesting 3-run game. Runner on at third, 2 outs, and Bregman was still playing on the cut of the grass.
You have to.
Worrying about a bunt for Scott.
You have to, and really that should be more a part of Scott's game. I think the more he's doing that, the better chance he's going to have to not only get more hits and use his speed, but draw in the infield to benefit. The Cardinals of old. Vince Coleman.
Oh, Willie McGee.
Willie McGee, Ozzie Smith, Terry Pendleton, Tommy Herr. They proved you didn't have to slug to win.
Tommy Herr drove in 100 runs without hitting 10 homers one season.
Now, they did have the turf, which that's nice, but still, it's an art that's gone. Being able to use your speed by bunting.
Scott hits it hard, but foul. Mason Wynn leadoff walk. He's at third with 2 outs. Now with a 2-2 count, Bregman moves back a couple of steps. Sliced foul and out of play. Cubs this year already, we're not even in June, 2 10-game winning streaks and a 10-game losing streak. Ball. 3-2. Got him. Chase the pitch. Webb strikes out Scott. Side retired. No damage done. To the ninth we go. Cubs lead by 3.
Sound familiar?
She relies on Grainger for professional grade products and next day delivery. Call, click, or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Let's all play ball. Don't miss Play Ball Weekend coming up on June 5th through the 7th, encouraging youth everywhere to get out and play. You can visit playball.org to register for a free event near you. We've made it to the 9th. Cubs with a 3-run stiff arm on the homestanding Cardinals. Ian Happ, Seiya Suzuki, and Moises Ballesteros batting against Matt Pushart. Happ's had a wonderful day. Good golly, everything he hits has been on a rope. He's on his way towards second, and he'll make it standing. This is a guy who didn't play 2 consecutive games earlier this week because he was in a funk, but he's really hitting the ball well now.
Again, a ball up, breaking ball mistake. You got to be able to hit it as a left-handed hitter, and he did down the line. Much better results lately for Ian Happ and the Chicago Cubs.
Now a chance for some personal history tomorrow for Ian Happ. He now has 999 Major League base hits, all of them coming as a Cub. He'll officially have a grand career once he hits one more hit.
Yeah, those numbers are cool and fun, and when you get to those big numbers, that's when it's fun. I tell you, I was beyond nervous for strikeout number 3,000.
Really?
Yeah, because I never went into a game trying to strike out a number, and I knew that I needed 2 going into that game. Go back to that point, like, hey, you need 2 to get 3,000. So I go into that game against the Nationals, and all I could think of is every time I got 2 strikes, the crowd went crazy, and I wasn't getting strikeouts early.
That just eats up Gorman. Suzuki rounds first. He'll stay there. Runners on at the corners and nobody out for Chicago.
This one took an in-between hop. At third base, you got to get it right then, or that one stayed down. It didn't come up. He's trying to backhand it, and the ball stays down. And they're going to give that an error.
E5. Runners on at the corners. Now that's one advantage that the Cubs are going to have over basically any team they play. Their defense is airtight. Cardinals can't say the same. Looking at the defensive alignment when the Cubs are out there. On a normal day, they start 5 guys who have had Gold Glove seasons before. 2 in the outfield with Happ and Crow Armstrong, and 3 infielders, Bregman, Swanson, and Orner.
Well, and that's why the injuries to their starting staff is so crucial, because they can win games close because of their defense and pitching, but they need their guys, and so they're going to get a couple of them back, which will help the depth. When their offense is clicking like they did in the 2 10-game winning streaks, it won't matter. But you've got to play defense at Wrigley Field.
Right back, middle of the diamond, and a low throw scooped out of the dirt by Burleson. That's the first out of the inning. Ballesteros is retired. And more on the Cubs injury situation. Let's check in with Kenny.
Well, Eric, reinforcements aren't far away. Matthew Boyd coming off left meniscus surgery. He's going to pitch a rehab game tomorrow. Most likely one more after that. Then he will rejoin the Cubs. Edward Cabrera recovering from a blister on his right middle finger. Extended bullpen session tomorrow. Then he will be right back in the rotation next weekend. That's it for now. The return of Justin Steele from a left elbow flexor strain, that is far less certain. He has had a few setbacks along the way.
Thank you, Kenny. Did that hit Amaya?
That's what they're saying. Oh, catcher's interference. He's trying to check swing, and then he gets the glove. He's not even going to get a full opportunity to swing.
Catcher's interference. Crooks, his first big league game this year, is going to allow the Cubs to load the bases. Dansby Swanson, this is an important bat, maybe not in the game, but an important game at bat for Swanson as he tries to regain his all-star form. Oh my goodness, to the backstop. And a run will score. Pushard lost control, and this inning is getting out of control.
Well, you don't see this very often.
Cardinals get a bit sloppy here in the later innings. Infield's in. Still just one out. Swanson 0 for 3. Did have an important walk. And for those who don't know, Pete Crow Armstrong is on deck. He is one leg of the Triple Crown away. He is missing the difficult triple, but with his speed, totally possible. I'm calling it.
You think he's going to hit for the cycle?
I'm calling it. Four-pitch walk to Swanson. Second time that Dansby has walked. The bases are loaded for Pete Crow Armstrong, who homered his last time up. This high speed sponsored by AT&T. 114 miles per hour off the bat. It landed 444 feet away from home plate, and the tarps off through.
Well, right now he's facing a pitcher who's lost his release point. Has really no idea where that ball is going, so I don't know what got him more messed up, the wild pitch or...
That's a good decision by those folks. The ones that have the Pete shirts over there, PET. Can you imagine trying to have shirts made up with his last name? That set you back a couple bucks. There in the first row, right behind center field. And well, Pete Crow Armstrong, he's a triple away from the cycle. Remember, he can run. Pushard's thrown 4 consecutive balls. Called strike 1. Armpit to armpit.
Cubs are out of challenges, and he's like, that was not a strike. He's seeing it a little bit better. He's still vulnerable now. Remember, I told you in the first inning he was able to not stay off those pitches, resulted in a strikeout. Since then, everything that's been up, he's waffled and stayed off the pitches down. I still would throw this pitch and tempt it back foot breaking ball again to see if he can lay off of it.
Into center field. That'll get down. Another run scores for Chicago. It is a 4-hit day for Pete Crow Armstrong. He's not going to hit for the cycle, but he'll take the 4 hits.
Yeah, everything feels better when you click the bat and you get some results. All the hitters want to get results. They don't care sometimes if it's a bloop, but when you can do this and stay back and keep the barrel of the bat in the zone, that's going to help him stay off those other pitchers as well.
PCA struck out to begin our game in his 5 subsequent plate appearances. He's reached 2 singles, a double, a homer, and he was hit with a pitch. Nico Horner. Well, yesterday, 6 relievers having to pitch for St. Louis. Today, 4 relievers. This is just going to be Pushard's cross to bear right here. He's going to have to figure out a way to get out of this because you're not going to burn another pitcher. They get it out there and they get a double play because of the arm of Mason Wynn. Oh, that was almost disastrous. I didn't know if they were going to get it out at all. They ended up getting 2. That's an unusual 4-6-3 double play.
The place you call home is important to you, so it's important to Allstate. Home is where you make all your best memories. Backyard camp.
Armstrong has looked the part of an all-star, which he was a year ago. Cubs leading the Cardinals 6-1. This has just been a crazy year for Chicago. Already 2 10-game winning streaks and a 10-game losing streak.
It doesn't make sense, but baseball's tough. And it's fun when you're shaking hands a lot and coming to the park, and then you just can't believe that you're coming to the park and you've lost 8, 9, 10 in a row. It just doesn't make sense sometimes.
Well, this is not a safe situation, but the Cubs closer just needs to get some work. Daniel Palencia comes on. Palencia throws a heavy ball. He'll have to earn this one. It is a 5-run lead, but he'll take on the top third of the order for the Cardinals. Weatherholt, Herrera, and Burleson. Weatherholt, he is singles in each of his last 3 at-bats. 23-year-old just figuring his way at the big league level, and this is a future stud. Now, since 1969, that's where we're going to go back to. Teams that have had 2 10-game winning streaks in the same season, Cubs have already done that. It's only happened 11 times, 10 different teams. The Astros did it twice. 3 of those teams reached the World Series. Only one, that's hard to believe. Only one team has won the World Series with 2 10-game winning streaks during the regular season. That was the first year of when we're talking about this graphic, the '69 Mets.
Yeah, that's I'm trying to think. Just in our run, I don't know how many. I think we might have only had one or 2 10-game winning streaks. It's crazy because they're hard to come by. You think about traveling, you think about all the things you got to do. And then the Cubs won 15 in a row at home, which is even more amazing.
Yeah, 10-game winning streaks are rare. You talk to so many baseball people, and if you win 11 out of every 20 games, you're always in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the bare minimum for being a good team. 11 out of 20 gets you a .550 winning percentage, and you're in the playoff hunt. Now, winning 10 consecutive games, great teams sometimes don't even do it, let alone twice in the first 2 months of the season.
I love how you can break down the season. You can basically, until recently, you could say every team's going to win 60 and every team's going to lose 60. It's what you do in those 42 in between. And that's basically true. I mean, you're going to have those numbers play out. So you boil it down to like 42 games separates everybody.
Man, Palencia throws hard. 102.
And Palencia needs to be looked at. This is the catcher, Miguel Amaya, asking for great counsel and the training staff. That was a 102-mile-an-hour pitch. Is something wrong with Palencia after he throws 102?
Talk about the mound a little bit. That's the one thing about coming in to close a game. You do not get a fresh mound. And you have to stand around landmines sometimes. They look like not the ideal landing spot sometimes.
On the ground, Bregman gets the lead out at second, on to first, not in time. Herrera still scooting down the line. 1 out in the 9th inning.
Good job by Bregman here. It's not an easy shovel. Watch where he's got to get the little extra in there and then almost turned off the improbable double play.
Alec Burleson has swung in a lot of first pitches today. Going back to that mound discussion, your playing days, 80s, 90s, aughts, was there a particular mound? We talked about this. Was there a mound that pitchers generally liked?
Oh, yeah.
Better than others?
Oh, yeah. Before they could regulate everything, you had certain stadiums where the mound was typically higher than normal. LA was always known back then for having the tall mound. And then you had the portable mounds that, because of transition in stadiums, baseball to football, they were never the most favorite, because when it's not permanent, of course, there's a lot more that has to go into it. But yeah, it's just like batter's eye at stadiums. You know, hitters are going to see things differently. Pitchers would look at a mound and feel the same way. You know, just some looked off center. The first time I saw the cutout, I think the Diamondbacks were the first one to have the cutout from.
Could have been the Tigers at Comerica.
Yeah, but it.
Oh, the National League?
For me to see it was a National League. I felt like that was cool. It felt like a lane to the plate.
Burleson, second hit of the ball game for him. And Herrera getting frisky. What's he thinking? Oh, my goodness. The second out of the 9th inning, down by 5, and Herrera cut down.
He already knows in his head what was wrong about that. Never make the second out at third. Especially when you're down in the 9th inning by that much.
Two outs. Cardinals up against it. Jordan Walker. Cardinals won yesterday, 6-5, the final score. They had 3 home runs. That was a big difference in the game. Cardinals just couldn't get anything started offensively against Ben Brown. He's the story of the game for Chicago. 7 wonderful innings by Brown. Cubs have really found something. Walker into the gap, left center field. Run down by Carl Armstrong. What a ball game for PCA. win by a final score of 6-1 on a Saturday night in St. Louis.
Yeah, this is all you need to know right now about the reaction, the jump, and the play. This is his game. His game at the plate. He ended it with a flare at the defensive end, and the Cubs, if they have any kind of star of the game, it's going to be him.
Well, all the Torps out crew putting their shirts in their mouth right now after screaming overrated at Pete Crow Armstrong. Maybe not. What a win for the visitors from Chicago. The Cubs 6, the Cardinals 1. Sure hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. From my partner John Smoltz, Ken Rosenthal, and our entire Fox crew, I am Eric Collins saying so long, everybody from St. Louis. The Cubs back to their winning ways. 6-1 the final score. We'll send you to Kevin Burkhardt and Dontrell Willis in the studio for post-game coverage right after these messages.
Oh, say, can you splash? Release the ball and fall on your.
Quiz with Balls is all new Monday on Fox.
Talk is easy, but who's willing to step
in America post-game show, and welcome. The Cubs get back at the Cardinals, even this series, with a big offensive performance. D-Train Dontrell Willis is here. I'm Kevin Burkhardt. That's a night for Pete Crow Armstrong. 4 hits, a bomb of a home run, and then, of course, fitting to end it with that catch.
You know, you see his ability, and this is what he looked like the first half of last season, being able to show the ability to win ball games by himself. I thought he looked comfortable with the toe tap at the plate. You see the light tower power. 4 hits today, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. You see the range. That's why you put him in the category when he's on fire like that with the Acuna Juniors of the world, because he's impactful not only in the offensive end but the defensive end as well.
Yeah, and the thing about this, the Cubs moved him to the leadoff spot 8 games ago. 7 of those 8 games, he's had at least one, been on base at least 1 time. Starting to feel good in that role atop the Cubs order. Why don't we hear from PCA? He's standing by with Ken Rosenthal.
Pete, 4 for 5. Double, home run, hit by pitch, 2 RBIs, and you ended it with a spectacular catch. Where would you rate that one on the degree of difficulty?
Any ball that Jordan Walker hits is it's tough to make a play on. You saw him hit a ball 100,000 miles an hour break earlier. He's just a very impressive hitter, but I love taking hits away from guys like that. So, you know, he's having a hell of a year, and I'm just glad he put a ball in play for me to make a play on.
Now, your home run, 114.6. That's the hardest hit ball of your career.
Yes.
When you hit it, did you know that you had crushed that ball like you had never crushed a ball before?
I don't know about that, but that's all I got in the tank for sure. No, it felt nice to not feel one off the barrel, and yeah, I mean, we just put together some really good at-bats today. So, you know, getting a hit behind guys, making people work, and, you know, then with people on base, that's always nice. So being able to execute today was great. Benny did a absolutely killer job. That might be the best I've seen from him. So that was really good all around from us.
All right, we heard the tarps off section serenading you with chants of overrated.
Yep.
We saw you making like you were waving a T-shirt as you rounded first base on your home run. How determined were you to respond with your actions on the field?
I mean, that's you know, first and foremost, that is what I would like to be able to do. You know, we've seen it in LA where, you know, I didn't back up any talk that I may have said. So learning from stuff like that and always making sure that I'm doing the right things on the field first.
Pete, congratulations. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
What a night for Pete Crow Armstrong. How about the Braves? They've had a lot of good nights this year. Up 4-2, Ronald Acuna Jr.
Oh, no.
Homered earlier, he homered again.
Ooh, haven't you seen my movies?
4 home runs the last 3 games. He also stole 2 bags tonight. Braves have 40 wins, most in the majors. Padres Nationals, this was a big story. Fernando Tatis Jr., that's #1 on the year.
Hallelujah. Sweet swing, and you know the team was fired up, and that's the type of swing that can get a superstar like that going.
What did he need? The team knew it. That had to feel good, finally getting the first home run. However, the Nationals are the ones that came away with the win. Luis Garcia, base hit, 9-4. Nationals had scored. In fact, had the best offense in the majors. Orioles were down big in this game. They put up a 5-run rally in the 9th inning against Toronto, and Pete Alonso going to finish it.
Old LeBear says blue crab for everybody.
Hey, I'm in on that. That sounds good.
Sir.
Orioles had a decent week, 6-5 win. Got a special edition of Red Sox-Yankees next Saturday. I'll be there joined by the fellas, Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, and David Ortiz. They've played in enough of those Yankee-Red Sox games. I have a feeling we'll have a story or two. It'll be next Saturday, 7:30 Eastern on Fox, Yankees and Red Sox. For D-Trade, I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. See you next weekend. Bye-bye.